The following is a mechanically reproduced announcement, previously recorded from a live scheduled program on 24.7 The Stream. This is not a live broadcast. All guests, callers, and hosts granted 24.7 The Stream permission to be recorded. This program may contain strong language or topics not suited for younger listeners. Parental discretion is advised. Thank you for listening to 24.7 The Stream.
Welcome to InformNation Radio. Here we are, Monday, May 11th. Here's your host, Alex Gabriel.
And your co-host, David Sick.
Here we are talking today about, what do we want to talk about today? I think we're going to switch things up a little bit.
We're going to bring it back to some current events. We've been on the You Are What You Eat series a little bit, but we're still going to be on it. But we're going to switch it up, tie it back to something else.
Yeah, so we want to, we were in here last week. We watched a couple other people's shows in here, and we kind of got some ideas on how to, change up our show a little bit, figure out, what we're doing, how we could bring the most information out in a 2-hour segment and actually have people keep on tuning in and listening.
To get the most information out there as we can.
Yeah, most people don't want to be bored listening to, I don't care about health. Like, I want to know what's going on in Baltimore right now. I want to know what's going on in Texas.
I want to know what's going on with that Jade Helm thing.
I do want to know myself what's going on with Jade Helm, the military buildup in Texas and a couple of the lower southeastern or southwestern states.
10 states going through military operations this summer. What is it? What's going on? We're going to break it down today.
Yeah, and then we're also going to break down a couple other things that we have, but then we're also going to have a special guest on today.
A special guest?
A special guest that we're going to have on today. It's going to be the certified health nut coming out of California.
California.
Yes, and we're going to talk a little bit about some more with You Are What You Eat. We're going to go over some meditation and some other things on what could bring your natural energy levels up.
Who is that certified health nut? I think Isn't that Troy Casey?
That is Troy Casey.
The one and only.
The one, the only Troy Casey. He'll be on with us after our, first segment?
After the first segment, yeah.
After the first segment, we're going to have him on.
For about an hour, yeah. We're going to talk about a lot.
Yes,
He's a smart guy. He knows a lot about
Wealth
everything.
of knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Wealth of knowledge.
Can't wait to dig in that gold mine.
But what we want to talk about in the beginning is we kind of wanted to bring our points of view, I should say, on some of the things that have been happening in the news lately. And one of the huge things is these Baltimore riots that are going on right now.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Here we go. You got everyone, I think it was like 150 businesses got destroyed. Some of them aren't going to even open up anymore. A lot of the bigger corporations are thinking about just shutting down their, like a CVS pharmacy is thinking about shutting down their CVS pharmacy and actually just not even going to reopen it.
And we're going to go back to some facts. What really started it? And what really started it was there was a man, Freddie Gray, who was in police custody and strangely died of malicious intent.
Well,
he died in police custody.
Well, what I heard was actually that Freddie Gray died from having a part of his spine severed, and 80% of his spine was severed.
Yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah, he
pretty much ripped apart his spine.
Mm-hmm, his spinal cord. I'm not sure where.
How the hell do you do that?
There's got to be, to break those vertebrae. There's a lot of pressure that you need. So they were definitely whatever he was doing to himself, or what the police were doing to him. Everybody was involved. We're never gonna really know. I wasn't there. You weren't there.
No, none of us were there.
The only people that know what happened to Freddie Gray is Freddie Gray himself, the police involved, and God. The only 3 people who actually can tell us what happened.
If God's even a person, though.
Yeah.
He could, or I don't even want to refer to him as a he.
Yeah, true.
I don't know what that's all about. It could be a he, could be a she, could be an it, could be a that.
The divine force that makes it all work.
Oh, there we go. Works through the universe in mysterious ways. Little sneaky God up there. But actually what I heard...
we should never know, right?
Yeah. Actually, what I heard also is that one of the other guys that was in the cop car or in the little paddy wagon that they took Freddie Gray away in said that Freddie Gray was kind of screwed up right then. He was supposedly intoxicated or something, and then he was bashing his body and his head against the inside of the walls of the paddy wagon. And they say that's the reason why he had part of his spine or whatever fractured or ripped apart.
Could have fractured part of his neck, and then more things happened later, and then Look what happens.
I mean, what does everyone think about that? I mean, if you want to join us in chat on news.247thestream.com.
Or you can call in. You can get the direct line, 630-445-1213. Let's hear from you today.
Let's hear what your opinions are on the whole Freddie Gray matter. But I want to kind of get in on what's our own, myself and David, what our own personal opinions are on these riots and everything. I think they're idiots.
I think they're idiots too. And it just takes from people that something happened in your community. Why would you go out if you're trying to make a change for your community in anywhere, in any instance, why would you go out, take to the streets, break things, burn things, and get into a mob mentality? That's not going to bring you closer to any goal that you need.
Oh, no, definitely not. They're not organized.
They're not. It's just a mob mentality of people going out there with probably agitators and provocateurs in the crowd, knowing the government and how they like to stage things and how they like to hype everything up. It's just a culmination of everything that's going on. And we saw the same thing in Ferguson. We saw the same thing that exactly happened. A person died, and then instantly the news blew it up. Oh, white versus black, man versus woman. It was going down. People were taken to the streets.
I mean, the funny thing about the whole thing is that they're destroying their own businesses.
I know.
They're going out there and destroying black-owned and white-owned businesses.
And that's the thing about Baltimore. It wasn't even a black versus white thing that everybody's on somehow nowadays. Can't understand why. But it was majority of the leadership in Baltimore is black. The mayor's black. The police chief's black. A majority, I don't know how many of the cops involved in the Freddie Gray incidents
probably were black.
Were black.
The fact of the matter is everyone's saying it's this racist thing. Well, why aren't they considering it, hey, this is a people versus the system sort of thing? Mm-hmm. It's us against the cops. And I'm not saying that all cops are bad. I have friends that are cops and a lot of respectable people out there. But then you have your some that, like we're back in high school and got picked on, and they're trying to take it out on the world now.
I know.
Well, I'm a police officer now. I'm going to go take it out on the world. And some of those are getting giving a bad rap to the other guys out there. And, I think we should be focusing more on, hey, this is a people's thing against the system in place, the judicial system.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody's looking at it like that.
No, people just looking at it for the surface of it. Oh, could it be race? Oh, could it be this? But no, it's people coming to a breaking point that they've been persecuted. All people have been persecuted. White, black, brown, pink. I don't care who you are. You've been persecuted some way. But a way the way not to go about it is go out and burn things.
No, definitely not. That's more racist. That's the racist thing to do, is to go out and do it.
And then they'll just go, and then you got the mob mentality in the street targeting people because of the color of their skin.
It's like, oh, you're a white guy owning a white business. We're going to burn you. I'm like, dude, I agree with, what you guys are doing, that this is wrong, but why are you coming after me? It's like, I get it. Like, I'm white, you're black, but, there's no difference there.
It's like 1968 all over again.
Yeah.
It's just that the tables are flipped. And it doesn't need to be that way.
No, it definitely does not need to be that way. It needs to be people standing up for other people. We're not different races anymore. We're American.
Exactly.
Especially if we're living in America.
You're American.
We are American. Why don't we all stand together instead of having these stupid little battles with each other in our own streets, killing our own people, burning down our own businesses? Why don't we get back to the basics of things? Why don't we figure out how to live together in peace? Why don't we figure out how to stop having cops treat our citizens like this? Why don't we have cops stop harassing people?
And why doesn't you out there, if you think that the cops are so bad, why don't you reach out to the police? Why don't you reach out to them and let them know that you're a good person and that you stand up for good things, and that more and more cops will see that, hey, there's people in my town that we're good people out here. Not everybody's bad, because the whole us against cop mentality that's been building for so many years. Because they have an agenda, and the people have an agenda.
They almost declared it a state of emergency after being unable to reach the city's mayor's office.
You know what? I actually want to play a quick clip, because I don't know if anybody out there heard the mayor of Baltimore, when giving a press conference, said that for a quote. I'm gonna play it, but I want everybody to hear this. She said that the people that wish to destroy, we need to give space for them to destroy. So she's advocating violence.
She's actually going out there, advocating violence, saying, hey, you know what? We need to let our people destroy some things. in order for them to kind of, let those demons loose amongst the town and let them express themselves.
I made it very clear that I worked with the police and instructed them to do everything that they could to make sure that the protesters were able to exercise their right to free speech. It's a very delicate balancing act because while we tried to make sure that they were protected from the cars and the other things that were going on, we also gave those who wished to destroy space to do that as well. And we
What?
to keep that balance and to put ourselves in the best position to de-escalate, and that's what you saw this evening.
Their own space to destroy. Like, are you serious?
That was the mayor of Baltimore,
Are
Stephanie
you
Rawlings Blake.
serious? Stephanie Rawlings, what in the F are you telling people? Oh, here's your space to destroy.
Oh yeah, you just feel bad. Go ahead and destroy things.
Yeah, here.
Not stand up for anything moral and be like, hey, stop destroying. Let's figure out this in a reasonable way and not just letting mob mentality go.
You know what?
That's a good.
When I was a kid, my mom told me not to destroy the house when I was angry. Don't punch the walls. Don't throw your toys.
Yeah.
Because you know what? After I threw my toy and I cracked it against the wall, you know what happened? I was pissed off. Because then my toy's broken. And it was very emotional after that. And that's probably what they feel about their frickin' city.
And there you go. In the end, what did it solve?
Nothing.
And I want to say this. With the whole Baltimore thing and the whole stand down of the police and they allowed them to destroy, what did it help do? It helped justify a military police buildup in order to crush a riot.
Oh yeah, I mean, we had the discussion about the military-industrial complex. These things do not help our cause.
Exactly.
It only is helping them build up the cause against the citizens of America, saying that we're crazy or we're constitutionalists.
Exactly. And we saw it in Ferguson as well. We saw that look what happened. Oh, that whole thing happened. People took to the streets. What'd they take out? They broke out the MRAPs. They broke out the SWAT friggin' juggernaut suits that these military-funded police are now wearing. They look like soldiers out there. And it's just an externalization. It's just a revelation of what's been building up nowadays. It's now it's showing that, okay, we've been building up the police to be in a military style, and we've been giving them tanks and vehicles and stuff like that. We're now going to show it to the public and through a perfectly orchestrated event like a riot where it would be justified using force and military tactics against civilians. So people would now rally towards the police and saying like, oh yeah, help them stop the riot, crush the riot. But people are siding with that and not realizing what's really going on.
Yeah.
Look at the steps that are being taken.
And then not to mention, here we go, I got this picture up of this protester out there saying, stop the war on black America. There's no war on black America, first off. There's a war on America. There's a war on me. I'm white. You're white. Right. There's a war on us. There's a war on the blacks. There's a war on the Hispanics, on the Jews, on the Gentiles, on the whatever.
There's a war on America, and it's been orchestrated by America.
Yeah. It's like, hey, how do we divide and conquer?
We need to get away from this sectarian violence where it's white against black, man against woman, gay against straight, freaking
Cubs against Sox, Bears against Packers. Like it's division amongst any sort of topic. There's always a division of people.
Mm-hmm. And it's like and that goes back to a form of tribalism where you identify with the
your
group.
Tribe.
You identify with the group. You're not identifying as an individual. And that's what we need to get back to here in this country, especially and around the world as well. We need to get back to individual freedom and responsibility and not giving the group the say-so and coming back to the individual. Because when you give the group, the individual, when you give the group more rights than the individual, then you're doomed. Because if the group finds out that you're no longer needed in the group, they'll just get rid of you. You don't have an individual stance on anything. You're just part of a group now.
That's ridiculous.
And that's what a lot of like black people, white people, Mexican people, Asian people, all kinds of people need to understand that if we live here in this country together, and the common bond that we have amongst ourselves is freedom. And that's the common bond that Americans all have is freedom. and we're losing our freedoms every
yeah.
single day. And it's through this Baltimore riots and these Ferguson riots, and we're going to see more of them.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you, there's already been 2.
There's going to be more.
There's going to be more because they're slowly rolling out.
Remember the school shootings. There was more and more school shootings.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And that whole more rioting and unrest ties into Jade Helm.
Oh, yeah.
Because look what Jade Helm is. It's a military exercise out on the streets.
In Texas.
In Texas and the whole
Arizona,
California, the whole
southern part of California.
Southwest. And there's that video in Fort Lauderdale, Florida of military leading people through the streets.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody saw that video. Look it up. And look what's happening. They're starting up these riots now, right? There's more and more unrest going on. But slowly behind the scenes, they have this Jade Helm thing going on, where it's like the military starting to but get integrated into the public life, and slowly but surely the military will be out on the streets counteracting the rioting and unrest that's going on through everything else. So you can see the two sides of the coin slowly building and coming towards each other. And that's one thing that InformNation, we're trying to bring out and trying to stop.
And actually there is Senator Ted Cruz actually sent in a letter about this Jade Helm 15 incident here.
What did he say?
And they wrote back to him. They said, "Thank you for your inquiry into whether the Jade Helm 15 military exercise is the first wave of federal takeover of Texas, the Trojan horse, as it were, of the end of sovereignty in the Lone Star State. Our response, contrary to the long tradition of official correspondence and military bureaucracy, is in concise no." So it's not the Trojan horse the military and Pentagon are trying to say after Senator Cruz sent in a letter to the Pentagon.
Come on, people.
Even you got senators asking about this.
Yes.
Like, oh, this is weird. Like, why are we having this huge military buildup? I mean, if you go online on YouTube right now, you can watch thousands and thousands of tanks and UN trucks and everything getting shipped into Southwest America. And actually, they're doing this for 2 months. It's starting on July 15th, and it goes all the way to September 15th. Weirdly enough, it's the 15th, September 15th. I don't know, September 11th. I don't know if there's any correlation there, but I'm just throwing it out there.
One thing, this is my opinion, one thing I think about this whole Jade Helm thing, is everybody's saying, oh, martial law is going to happen right away. No, it's not. If you understand these people and you understand the whole military-industrial complex and everything behind they like to work nice and slow and low. So this is the first little rollout of Jade Helm. They're going to go out there and they're just going to slowly kind of talk to people, get it in the public's mind that, oh, there's military on the streets now, slowly conditioning you.
And then I think they're going to hope we get pissed off and do something about it. So then they could just implement things faster.
That's just justification for everything that they're doing.
Just as Rob Emanuel said, crisis creates opportunity.
Yep.
And that's what they're all thinking up there. Let's have something happen. Come on, guys. Come on, constitutionalists and revolutionists and all these supposed homegrown terrorists.
Yeah.
Please shoot us.
Yeah.
So we could actually go out in the streets and take your guns and make you have a curfew.
They want it to happen. It's just they don't want them to do it. They want us to do it so they can stand up as the moral high ground and say that, oh, look, it was those people that fired on us. We now have justification to fire on them. And that's the one thing we need. We need Americans, the real Americans out here. We need the moral high ground in all this.
We need to stand up, but we need to not fight back.
Exactly. We can't fall into their trap. But hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking to Troy Casey, the certified health nut.
Let's get his idea.
We're going to get his take on this. We're going to get his take on a whole lot of stuff. We're going to be talking about energies, his Amazon experience, and his whole movement that he's doing with health and fitness. So we'll be back.
Here we are back with InformNation, 23 minutes past the hour worldwide. And we have a little special guest on the line here today, the certified health nut Troy Casey out in California. Yay. How you doing today, Troy?
I'm doing great, brother. Thanks so much for bringing me on the call and the show. And every day is a great day that I can spread, wisdom and what's happening on the planet and how we can make the world a better place.
Exactly. I love it. And we were just, before we got you on the phone here, we were talking a little bit about, Jade Helm going on in Texas and them getting ramped up for that down there, talking about the Baltimore riots and kind of, people are protesting, but, we don't think they're protesting against the right things and being violent. And I don't think that's the way to go about it. I mean, what was your take on a couple of those issues?
Well, I really try and pay attention to a lot of the practical stuff, and what I really teach is health from an individual standpoint. However, I'm living in this world just like you, and I see the massive amounts of shenanigans being rolled out and played out on national news coverage. I don't have a TV, but of course I go to the gym, and they've got flat screens everywhere, and I'm always on the hunt of how they're propagandizing agendas, or just really promote what are they up to now, and what are they going to try and promote now, because it's not the government per se, it's the government that's been bought and paid for by the corporations and the people who have the money of this planet. Mm-hmm. And so power and greed structure. So there's a lot of shenanigans being played out, whether you look at the chemtrails, or whether you look at the GMOs, or whether you look at, vaccine injuries, whether you look at dropping bombs on third world countries for their natural resources, or sending Halliburton in to extract natural resources out of South America, Africa, all these shenanigans that we're doing, I'm a firm believer that it's going to come to an end. And what I see happening in the world today is like the boogeyman, or the monster at the end of the fairy tale book, or the children's book, that tries to get all loud and crazy at the end, and no, and then basically it's like it's almost like the Wizard of Oz. It's this little guy pulling the strings behind the big monster, and so that's what's happening. The illusion is coming clean. The fact of the matter is food is free. We have everything that we need from the natural world that can support life on Earth when we work together with the systems to make and create things sustainable. Right now, we have systems that are set up. This is mine, and you've got oil. Oil is such an antiquated fuel that we're dealing with. Our whole economy is based on it, and all the people that are making money from it are also creating policies around keeping the oil in place.
Oh, yeah,
the matter is, it's time to move beyond this. And anything with Jade Helm or anything that you see on the news are just more shenanigans for, fascist, tyrannical type control. And these days are numbered. The power is always in the people. But, however, the people need to wake up. There's a video on the internet I shot at Occupy LA. I had my daughter on. You can watch that. The fact of the matter is I went down to the Occupy protests, and I spoke, and I connected with people, and I did social media down there. The fact of the matter is people were complaining about the corporations and the elite, and the fact of the matter, they were eating all their garbage food, and the foods that are contaminating the earth, the Cheetos, the chips, the McDonald's, the Burger King, all this rubbish that is messing up the world. So what I realized then was, because it's good that we have a movement that people understand viscerally that there's something wrong, that there's something not matching up. And to create that change, we've got to go back to what Gandhi said and become the change that we wish to see in the world. We have to become healthy ourselves. Working in the Amazon for many years, I realized people don't care about a place that's 5,000 miles away, and those natural resources, they're not even cognizant that they're using them, like Home Depot lumber or even the oil that's extracted out of the Amazon. And so people aren't making that connection. So I realized that the only real estate that anyone has any dominion over and really can give a rat's ass is their own body and their own health. If everyone would just pay attention to their own health and how they are feeling, then they can rise up and start voting with their dollars on their own bloodstream. If everybody did that, we'd be supporting organic farmers, and we'd change the whole CAFO, commercial agriculture, corporate, structure, and we're doing that overnight. People are sick and fed of being sick and trampled upon. So people are growing their own food. They're starting movements. They're speaking up on social media. The government's trying to mandate vaccines right now. People don't understand the slippery slope that's on, the giving up of human rights, constitutional rights.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is that vaccines injure and harm people to the tune of billions of dollars that the government is paying out. And so a parent should have the right to know if this vaccine is right for their child and if they want to risk it. And if they don't, they should be exempt from getting vaccines. Hitler and the Nazis were into stuff like mandatory vaccines
and
designating, who needs to be segregated and who needs to be, separated. And what did that create? That created genocide. And a lot of our medical discoveries were created and understood by the Nazis because they tested everything. They tried to change the children's eye color by injecting dye in their eyes.
Wait. Who tried to do this injecting of the eye color?
Mengele. Joseph Mengele and the Nazis.
Yep.
Oh, that doesn't sound
So
good.
the fact of the matter is we got to ask ourselves, guys, what do we want? Do we want, pure fascism and tyrannical bullshit coming down the pipeline? Or do we want to rise up? What do human beings need? Human beings need clean air, water, soil. They need food, water, air, and fire. Those are the 4 minimum requirements we need. Everything else is want and materialistic fucking garbage that is filling up the landfills and choking the environment. It's constipating the waterways, the airways, the soil. It's killing off the flora and the fauna. It's just time to recognize this. There's no bad or good. This is, I look at everything spiritually.
The one thing I could tell about this, Troy, is you're very, very passionate about this. You can tell that from your little speech right there. Actually, that was awesome. You just hit, I think, every subject that InformNation has to offer. And then most importantly, you're talking about voting with your dollars. We're all about the voting with your dollars over here.
Well, that's it. Because the only thing people can really do, you can get on social media and you can advocate it, but if people aren't, standing up and doing it and holding the template for themselves, and we're not talking about perfection, but start moving in that direction. Shit, if people want to clear up their skin from acne and stuff like this, you're going to have to start eating organic food. And you're going to have to start cleaning out the gut that created that acne, because as above, so below. So whatever shows up on the face and the skin is really going on the inside of the body. I like to use the terminology, if you're eating commercial food, GMOs, hydrogenated oils, chemicals, food coloring, all these things, the ugly stick is not far behind. Now, why is that important? Well, everybody subscribes to Kim Kardashian and the way she looks, and before that it was Britney Spears, and this is all popularity. It's all based around beauty, and then everybody's using porn and stuff. And what people really want is that beauty, is that health, but they keep buying the shit that's advertised on these television shows or in Vogue magazine, or putting the makeup that contaminates their blood supply and ends up in their lymph and then ends up in their skin. It makes them fat, makes them sick. Women get breast cancer tumors, by the time they're 40, from taking this garbage onto their body structure. It's like, look, you want to be pretty, you want to be beautiful, you want to be like Kim Kardashian, you want to access that, then the holistic methodology is the best way to go. You're not going to need plastic surgery when you're 40, 50 years old because you're living a holistic lifestyle. You're going to be beautiful, you're going to be grounded. You're going to be grounded in something that's valuable. Not a lot of these people you see on social media with all the bullshit and like, oh, I got a Louis Vuitton and a Gucci this and a that, and I'm so fucking cool. And, the bottom line is none of that means anything. If you can't run up the hill, if you can't survive, if you can't survive in the world and understand that you need air, water, and soil, take care of your own human body, then let me tell you, when shit hits the fan or Jade Helm, gets people, all locked up in internment camps, there's going to be a wake-up call. My advice is wake up now.
Troy, I do have
Why
to say,
wait?
I feel you, brother. I feel your passion and everything behind, but
We got to watch out.
I
the
do have to
swears
say,
on the radio show.
we are on live radio, so we can't be using as much profanity as we would like to.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's all good, dude. We feel the passion, man.
I understand where you're coming from, and I use words in my daily life as well.
It's
But yeah, I definitely.
I thought we were on the internet radio. I really apologize. So,
It's internet radio is the same as terrestrial. It has the same kind of FCC guidelines.
Yeah,
over it.
we got guidelines over here as well too. But dude, we feel you, man.
But hey, that's live radio. That's what makes
that's
it
live
fun.
radio, everybody.
Woo! But yeah, I definitely connect with what you're coming to. People are eating the garbage and everything, and they're seeing the results from it down the road. And that people are just down the road are now putting just a Band-Aid over all the garbage and everything that they've been bringing in their body, thinking that they can just put a Band-Aid on it. But it's not about the Band-Aid. It's about going to the root source of everything. It's about sourcing that clean water, getting that real, natural, clean food, and getting clean air, and getting those chemicals and those toxins out of your environment so you can become the best version of yourself. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I mean, Elliot does a cleanse once a year, and I specialize in cleanse and detox. So we were talking recently. I mean, cleansing was built into most of the spiritual technologies. I think he was reading some Islamic books a couple of years ago, and he got into the whole Ramadan fast and stuff. The bottom line is cleansing and fasting is historically what the Essenes did, it's what Jesus did, it's what the Egyptians did, the school of Pythagoras. And now we're dealing with complete toxicity all over the environment, heavy metals, cadmium, lead that comes out of diesel engines, whatever they're spraying out of the skies. I mean, at the bare minimum, whether it's chemtrails, it doesn't matter what it is, you're breathing that in.
Oh, yeah.
And so, how can you live healthy and get them out of your tissues? Well, if fasting was an ancient spiritual endeavor, obviously for very important purposes, I mean, it plays such an important role right now, but people are disconnected from that old school technology.
That's true. Definitely. And we want to get into, you've been talking a lot about energies and energy frequencies lately. I've been looking at a little bit of your videos. We want to know how, we know that the food and everything affects that energy level of us. I want to know what's the biggest, easiest way that a common person can bring in that holistic energy level in this whole health and fitness craze that's going on right now. What's the best way for an average person to get their energy level back to normal? Not just a physical energy, but I'm talking about an emotional energy, a spiritual energy.
Well, the first thing you got to do, in my opinion, is work with the mental. You have to recognize that the world's a little messed up. You got to recognize that 70% of the American people are obese. So that's 2 out of 3. 1 in 2 have cancer. Your brother, mother, sister, got diabetes, whatever. Look at that stuff. Look at who's healthy in your community. And then recognize and look down at yourself, get naked in front of the mirror and look at yourself. And who am I in relationship to this? Because remember, it's not about living forever or any of that stuff. It's about, if I make it to 80, can I have sex? Or can I go hiking or jumping in the ocean? It's that type of thing. It's like, can my body function? Can I pick up my great-grandchildren at that age? Is my body going to function? Can I read? Can I get a jar or a glass out of a cupboard? Is my body functional? So that's really where you want to be at. And if you don't have that type of mentality in your 20s and 30s, and you're not living in a natural environment, then it's best that you start wrapping your mental structure around it, asking who you really want to be. Get naked. Take off your clothes. Stand in front of that mirror.
With the whole idea about having, vitality later in life, I think a lot of the younger generations today, they're thinking, we got the medical field, people are living longer than ever, they're living to 80, 90, 100 years old. And I ask all these people, I'm like, well, yeah, they're on all these medications and everything, but are they really living vital? Like, are they really living life to the max, or are they almost just being kept alive with, all these pharmaceutical drugs, and they're being, kept in these hospitals or kept in these retirement homes or medical homes around the nation, and we're really not kind of, making life any more vital. than it ever has been. I actually, would say that I would rather live, a little bit less long, but live more vital than being kept alive for another 15 years where I'm just miserable.
Yeah, that's a big thing because, we say that we're living long, but if in the last 10 to 15 years of life you're on a Skittles bag a day of prescription pills and you're in and out of hospitals and sick and you can't move and you can't do nothing, what is life at that point then, right?
Well, it's the harnessing and the harvesting of life. Did you guys see the movie The Matrix?
Yeah, definitely.
If my grandfather ended up in a nursing home, and he was all doped up on pharmaceutical drugs to the point where they did drug-induced psychosis. He started hallucinating for like a week because they messed up his medication. I mean, it was crazy. And then he lasted another couple of years. But I'd go in and see him, and he would just drool, and I'd be like, "That's not living,"
Yeah.
And so, our culture is a little bit afraid of death. There's not much understanding of death really in our culture, and so, so people are afraid to die, so they stick their old people in these nursing homes. And the fact of the matter is why are they in the nursing homes? Because we got to go to jobs to prop up these corporations that are decimating the earth.
Yes.
And so we don't have time to take care of our elders. The elders are the ones that have all the wisdom. You want to learn something.
Mm-hmm. And
it's great that everybody's got these personal development camps and stuff. But go hang out with your grandparents for a weekend. I bet that teach you tons.
Oh, yeah.
And all the mistakes that they've made. So the fact of the matter is this is just human harvesting. This is just the matrix just plugging right into them and harvesting the last few dollars off of them by propping them up medically. It's all a big game. It's all a big shell game of power, and it's an energetic game too. And then that's when we got to throw in the towel and just say enough is enough. We don't have to worry about fighting the existing system. All we got to do is walk away, laugh at it, and go and design and engineer the next level. Whether you watch the movie The Zeitgeist, I don't believe in any utopian stuff, but Jacques Fresco was an engineer. Buckminster Fuller was before Jacques. And it's like, these guys were wise people that said, we could design the world to serve humanity and design the world with equitable systems. That doesn't mean there's not going to be problems. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be challenges. However, when we zero out air, water, soil, and food for human beings, and then we create free energy. I mean, obviously, the Egyptians, the Mayans, and the Incans all built temples that no one could explain.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, there must have been some free energy. Nikola Tesla tapped into it. He figured it out. And then J.P. Morgan burnt down his laboratory and discredited him because he was going to put free energy on the market. That was going to mess up, the grid and the energy system that Tesla helped them design. So why does Elon Musk, one of the biggest billionaires in the world today, name his car company after Nikola Tesla? Because he's carrying on that legacy, and he's creating infrastructures for the cars and the systems that we already have to interface with the new energy systems that he's going to create. But whether he creates it or not, or he facilitates some other engineer creating it, it's coming on the market. The Peruvians have these temples up in the Andes that, before the Spanish came, there were no wheels, there were no horses. How did they move 180-ton stone with no horses and no wheels? The circumference of your fingertips of the strongest people of that day has already been measured. They couldn't lift those stones either. So all the theories of how they lifted them are nonsense. And why do these structures still exist? Temple of the Lightning, Saxa Woman in Peru, is almost a mile long with megalithic stones. So obviously some other form of energy
used to be prevalent on Earth.
Whether it was harmonics or free energy or zero-point technology. Who knows? Who cares? The bottom line is I'm calling that forth. The mind is a tool, and I've got a powerful mind. So I say free energy is coming back on this planet. And anybody can say as much naysaying stuff that they did when the Wright brothers were trying to fly their airplanes, but free energy is our destiny, guys. Once free energy is on the planet, all the oil wars stop. Afghanistan, Libya, Iraq, Syria, Sudan, Ethiopia, Vietnam, World War II, they ran out of gas. I mean, the fact of the matter is all this stuff is really based around natural resources. Read the book of Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It'll tell you exactly how the World Bank, exactly how everything is operating. And it's just simply time to change, guys. It's not time to get caught up in conspiracy theories and start blaming. It's just recognize that and then go over here and create the world that we want to create. We just want to do push-ups. We want to have sex with whoever we want to have sex with. We want to enjoy that. We want to enjoy life. Why is Burning Man blossoming so much? Because people want to enjoy life. I live near Muscle Beach in Santa Monica. There's more people on the beach during the day now, more than ever. And so, hallelujah. That's the next phase of planet Earth when we're designing systems that are making it so we can enjoy life. Instead of this fictitious nonsense with the job.
You know,
like, what's the job for?
You know, it's like start revolving your life around the love of life instead of the fear of life that they're pushing through the television every day.
Hallelujah, bro.
I mean, you know, and that's what we want to get in on the next segment, because I know we do have a commercial break coming up right now. Actually, that's what that music's for. But we do want to talk about what are the ways to increase your natural energy without actually taking any supplements. And that's what we're going to bring to you on the next segment that we're going to have here right after these short messages. But we'll be right back with you, Troy, right after a couple minutes here. Here we are, back with InformNation, 47 minutes past the hour worldwide. This is your host, Alex Gabriel.
And your co-host, David Sick.
And here we are with the certified health nut, Troy Casey, out of California. Who knows what he's doing over there right now, making noise, rambling, schmambling, eating some food over there right now. Probably some organic food, though, right, Troy?
What's it like out there in California today?
You know what? Today it's great, although they're spraying the snot out of that old sky with chemicals. But it is a nice day out here. It's about 70 degrees on the beach in L.A., and it's sunny.
There we go.
Beautiful. Hey, that sounds like life.
I wish I was at the beach right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to be at the beach. We got rainy weather out here in Chicagoland right now.
Okay, well, I'll send you guys a picture when I get back out on the beach doing some Tai Chi later.
I'd love to see it.
Now, talk about the Tai Chi. What does that do for you? I mean, I know you're into the meditation, the grounding of your energies back to the earth, and what does that do? And kind of how are those energies relevant for ourselves to kind of become the strongest version of ourselves?
Yeah. So, what Tai Chi? I'm almost 50 here. I'll be 50 at the end of the year, and so. Your body, your mind stores tension in the body, and so to get movement in it is very important. Tai Chi is basically a moving meditation, and I like to upgrade it a little bit more and get bare feet in the grass. The grass is very grounding. The earth has a negative redox potential. It's got a basic antioxidant component, meaning it's got a negative charge. It's either got a negative or positive charge, and toxins have, I think, a positive charge. And what it does is it neutralizes it. So just walking barefoot on the earth can help your health at a very profound level. And so and also it grounds you to the frequency and vibration of the earth. Remember that we're basically walking around on rubber most of our lives. And so if you're not a barefoot walker, or you don't live near the beach, or you don't get out there very often, then you're not grounded. The only time you're grounded is in the shower. And what happens in the shower? Do you guys know what happens in the shower? That those bright ideas that people come in with the shower?
Yeah.
That's because they're grounded. You get a good idea in the shower, you want to get out of it and write it down or record it or something. But, I have brilliant moments in the shower all the time. I take about 3 or 4 showers myself a day, usually, some cold, some hot. Usually because I just like the water to clean my electrical field. You've got psychic energy, you've got electromagnetic frequency, you've got energy that can store up in your own energy field, even that psychic energy, that quantum entanglement. You get into an argument with somebody, or you get around somebody that's negative, and you can feel their energy on you. And so the best way to get that off of you is either jump in a cold body of water, some wild water, whether that's an ocean or a stream, getting in the grass, again, the shower as well. And then the Tai Chi systematically helps you harmonize your biological oscillators, which are the mind, the heart, and the gut. And these things all have their own rhythms. But when you do something like Qigong or Tai Chi or yoga, what it does is it harmonizes them so they're operating at the same level. So, for example, when you sit down to a meal, it's important, that you get a lot of the stressors or things that are affecting your mind, or maybe your mind is racing. Oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to get the job, and I got to pick up the kids, and your mind is racing. Then, how's that going to match up to your gut? Because your gut has to take time to chew and masticate the food. And then, if anybody knows anything about heart health, it's very important to keep the heart, balanced and calm, and so it can handle the stressors. The last thing you want it doing is beating out of control or beating too much. And so these exercises can help harmonize the biological oscillators. I've made quite a few videos on this subject. And so it really just helps you get grounded and centered, and then you can go out in the world and effectively create your dreams. It helps you, when you're balanced and relaxed, in a more natural state, then, ideas can come in through the idea sphere, whether that's the mind of God, if you will, answers and solutions to your problems come, they're divinely guided. The question is, if we're all doped up on CNN and what the Kardashians are doing, and the radio is on and they're talking about, the war in Iraq and the thing in Baltimore and whatever President Obama is, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't matter. That doesn't really come down to, your own bloodstream today. And so we got to get those things, deprogram the mind, unplug the mind from the things that are making it agitate. And so when you have that peace and calm, then you can effectively create your dreams and your goals, and you can use the mind as a tool. So meditation, walking meditation, meditation and Tai Chi are really two different things. However, some of the Qigong and Tai Chi is literally a walking meditation or a movement meditation. It stills the waters of the mind. And read any book on success. This is a huge component of success, is really harnessing the power of your mind and your own energy system in the body. And so, does that answer the question? Because I could give an opposite reflection on that as well.
No, yeah, that definitely answered the question. And actually, I've personally been doing a couple of the things you talk about in your Certified Health Nut videos that you have on YouTube. So if anyone wants to check out some of these videos, go to youtube.com/user/Certified Health Nut. But what I was watching and what I started doing recently is you do like the sway. I think you talked about Paul Chek kind of brought the sway out, or maybe you did, but you kind of sway your arms and your body back and forth. And I have to say, I noticed myself doing it a lot more often lately because it just kind of puts you in a nice little restful, calm state if you're talking to people. You could kind of think about a little bit more about what they're saying, and you could bring your energy down and actually just kind of sway back and forth, kind of rocking your body, and you feel a lot better. And I know you do with the arms as well too, and it kind of loosens up your body as well.
Yeah, it keeps everything moving and lubricated. Remember, the mind stores tension in the body, and then if you've got trauma, car accidents, or just, when we're children and we get yelled at and we don't have the emotional capacity and the intellectual capacity to process, something as dynamic as getting, yelled at as a child, then, we choke our breathing patterns, we freeze, and maybe our upper thoracic or maybe our stomach kind of shuts down because we freeze. And that ends up being a trauma pattern. And so over the life, if we're having a difficult time, we'll hold, stress in, the neck area, the lower back area.
That would be the neuromuscular holding patterns, right?
Yes, I guess you could call them that. Yes. And so, to release that, and, again, being almost 50, things change. And so the older you get, you want to keep those tissues lubricated. So what the Zen swing does, and I got to give Paul Chek credit, he taught me 4 basic Qigong Tai Chi moves in HLC 2 and HLC 3. And one of them is called the Zen swing. It moves every vertebrae and joint in the human body. It moves the synovial fluid and the cerebral spinal fluid. So it's ancient, Asian Chinese technology. It's been around for 5,000 years. It's really just to get the body, moving, harmonized, lubricated, breathing. It helps harmonize the breath as well. And then you can function more optimally. And if you've ever been to San Francisco, it's such a trip to see the Asian people in Nob Hill, doing Tai Chi first thing in the morning. And these guys, again, they're 80, 90 years old, and it's not so much, do they look like a spring chicken and do they have a 20-year-old girlfriend? It's, are they moving? I see them on the subways, on the buses, walking, and they're in their 80s or their 90s. And so, it's really just about, function, for me, function and really calming my nervous system down as well. So what Paul taught me is that your primary hormonal pathways, cortisol, adrenaline, and insulin, can get out of whack from the sympathetic nervous system stressors. So we used to have lions chasing us, and that would activate the sympathetic nervous system. Now the economy is that proverbial lion. And then if you've got other issues that you're dealing with, sleep issues, children, food stress, you're putting bad food into your body, these stress summates in the body. So if your cortisol and adrenaline and insulin is completely out of whack, the best way to reharmonize that, besides like hydration and organic food and stuff like that, is doing and utilizing Tai Chi to work to balance the hormones out. It's basically the antidote to, sickness. It's some form of Qigong, medical Qigong, Tai Chi. The reason Paul created the Zen swing is because it needs to be simplified for your average person. Most people aren't going to go to a Tai Chi class. They're not going to watch a video. They're going to watch 13-part series, and then start practicing it and maybe feel stupid. Paul just created, the Zen swing, which is a hybrid of a Tai Chi move to move everything in the body. And if you just did that one exercise for 10, 20 minutes a day, you would watch miracles happen in your life.
Yeah, I think most people need to get back to actually moving every day, doing a little bit of meditation, 20 minutes maybe in the morning before you go to bed, and actually just getting back to stretching out our bodies even or anything like that. But we're going to have a little break right now, but when we get back, I want to talk about the good, the better, and the best ways to actually get clean water, because I know you know a little bit about the clean water and where to find it and what's the best to drink for your energy levels. But we'll be back after a few messages right after this. Back here with InformNation, this is your host Alex Gabriel
And your co-host, David Sick.
Here we are in the second hour of our segment today, and we're going to start talking about water. Water's one of those main things that I think is a pretty staple in the human body. I mean, 80% of our body's made of water?
Yeah, right. And we're not sourcing the cleanest water.
No,
we're just getting the water from the tap, or we're getting the water from the bottle that we're buying at the store. We're not in the water there. It's not nutritious at all. There's no minerals.
We're not looking into actually the water that we're drinking. And I know our friend on the line here, Troy Casey, is a big fan of drinking clean water.
I think we're all a big fan of drinking water.
And we wanted to take his take on, a good source of water to drink, an even better source of water to drink, and then the best source of water to drink for optimal functionality for the human body, for our mind, for our spirits, for our energy. What would you say, Troy, would be a good source of water to drink, and then better, and then best?
Okay, well, the first thing you want to recognize is, the municipal water supply that's coming out of your tap. We got 7 billion people on the planet, and so, I speak out a lot about change and transformation. And I just like to make it, very clear that I'm grateful for, the engineers and the people that figured out how to build, sidewalks and toilet bowls and sewage drainage and, really helped with the civil engineering of the world that I live in, because I like the modern world. It's just time to upgrade the systems. So when it comes to water, it's a good idea to recognize that the government, the civil engineers, they put chlorine in the tap water to make sure that any pathogens that get in there, Giardia, just anything that can really make people sick, has been annihilated. And so I think in the upgraded version, the next strongest version of humanity, we'll design systems that will work. We'll either put filtration systems at the end user. We'll make that more easily accessible. We'll either clean up our water supplies. We'll just create systems because human beings are intelligent. But in the meantime, it's good to recognize that there's chloride, there's chlorine, chloramine, which is even more dangerous. Then there's fluoride, and I want to say fluoramine, but those are the most important things: chlorine, chloramide, and fluoride. You want to be looking those up and doing some research on these materials. Fluoride actually comes from sludge from the mining world, and it is an extremely toxic byproduct. And the people in charge of civil engineering said this is waste or whatever. So I forget how it worked out, but they did some kind of research on it. They funded some studies for some dentists. Everybody's all doped up on quote unquote science, but most of the science out there is research bias. So what these industrialists did, they had all this toxic waste. It was way too expensive to get rid of. So they say, hey, it's a naturally occurring mineral. Why don't we just throw it in the water supply at 1 part per million, and we can just get rid of it that way. And so they went in through the AMA, the Dental Association as well, and somehow designed that this is good for your teeth. And I think it does make the teeth stronger, but it makes them brittle. And so just look at what fluoride is. I mean, it's basically rat poison. And so it's the same ingredients as rat poison. So you're getting low dosages of brain poison on a regular and constant level. You might want to look at that and then get some kind of filtration system that zeroes that out. If that's an issue, you might want to look at it. If you're looking for purity and energetic and feeling good and being vibrant, you're going to want to start looking at your water. And I would look at those 3 elements: chlorine, chloramide, and then fluoride. And then I would start going after filtration systems that take those components out and upgrade to good reverse osmosis, filtered water, distilled water, etc. Because then what you end up drinking is maybe stripped water or dead water. Because you remember, water is living underneath the water, and it's going over mineral charges on granite and other stones and sand and silt and everything underneath the water, and then it comes out of a spring. So water's alive when it comes out, and the more alive you can get your water and make your water, the more alive it's going to make you. You're, 70+% of water. And so after you get your water filtrated, then you can start looking at restructuring your water. One of the easiest ways to restructure your water is just add a pinch of sea salt. Sea salt or mineral salt, some kind of high quality real salt out of Utah. You can get that company from Whole Foods anywhere. It's a great company. It's one of Troy Casey's sponsors. Real salt, you can get that. You can get their clay, Redmond clay. Clay is excellent for the gut, and it also, again, remineralizes the body. And minerals that have an ionic bond, meaning when you put it in water, the minerals become bioavailable. And so, look into that, because you could just structure your water with that. I personally have a Vitalizer. It's a $700 blender that whips it up into a tornado for 9 minutes over a coral calcium charge, so it's getting that mineral charge. I've also got some other engineers that sent me some of their equipment they're using on farmlands and stuff, and I chuck that in my the bottom of my ceramic water dispenser. And so, because I'm still living in the cities and renting homes right now, so otherwise I would bolt in my own reverse osmosis filtration system, like a 3 or 4 step carbon, etc., to get all these contaminants out. So that's municipal supply. Then if you're looking at best, then you're going to want to start upgrading to wild harvested spring water. So this is the best, and usually you might want to have that water tested, or some people in the local communities will have the water tested. For example, if you go to Sedona, Arizona, and you go up the canyon towards Flagstaff, there is a place where everybody gets their water from. And it's delicious, and it's all lit up. One of my friends has a house near there, and we were staying there, and somebody wanted to do tests, or they wanted to do tests with the water, and my friend said that they basically plumbed in the water, the what do you call it? The spring water is plumbed right into the house, and somebody wanted to do some tests, and I'm like, tests? Man, this stuff is lit up. You can't taste it. And it was like pure tasting, awesome water, but the energetics behind it were unmistakable. And so, finditspring.com, I think, is something either Daniel Bikalis created or he promoted. Finditspring.com. Spring and glass is going to be optimal. If harvesting your own water is too labor intensive, like it is for me, time consuming, etc., then your best bet is to, if you can afford it, you can get Mountain Valley Spring. They deliver in glass. It comes from a farm out. It comes from a spring in Arkansas, and I think in San Diego County you can go to Palomar Water, and they offer spring and glass as well. I think that's what Paul Check has delivered to his house. And I know he was drinking Evian from restaurant glass bottles for years, which means it was Evian water shipped in from France. And, he was probably paying $3-4 a gallon. And so, but water is very important, especially if you're living the holistic lifestyle. So at the bare minimum, get the best filtration. The Brita filters are almost useless. So, and so are the filters on most refrigerators. They're so puny. I have filters on my showers, and the carbon filters, within 2 or 3 months, they get yellow. There's contaminants in there. There's all sorts of stuff. So definitely do your best when it comes to that.
I had a question actually about the shower filters. I've been doing a lot of research. We had a guest on not too long ago and talking about shower filters and how much actually chemicals you can absorb just in the shower. You can almost absorb about 8 cups of. If you drink 8 cups of normal municipal tap water, you'd get that much sodium fluoride in you from just 10 minutes in the shower, absorbing through your skin. Then,
and not only is it absorbing through your skin, but you're breathing it in. You're breathing in those vapors.
So my question to you was, I know you have a shower filter yourself. Are there any shower filters? I've been finding this actually hard to find out there. Are there any shower filters that actually say that they filter out sodium fluoride? I know most of them say they filter out chlorine and chlorides and everything like that and other chemicals, but I haven't seen one yet that says sodium fluoride specific that it actually filters that out. Or have you, or anything you know about that?
No. I mean, I haven't done that much research. I mean, ultimately, health. You want to be proactive and not neurotic, and so. And not to say that you guys are, this is a neurotic question. What I'm saying is do the best you can with everything you're doing. I have shower filters. I get them from Billy Ozone. His name's William Wendling. I don't even know what his website is, but he does filtration systems to the stars, and he puts in ozone systems for really upgraded stuff.
What is that called again, so everyone could hear that?
His name is Billy Ozone, and it's William Wendling. And he probably has a website that's like, God, I don't even know what it is.
You can
Google it. I don't know what his website,
but
he's on Facebook. His name's William Wendling. Billy Ozone, he goes by. He does everything from filtration to ozone upgrade. So clean the whole swimming pool with ozone, and so ozone treated water. And so so what he said, I get my filters from him. He's a friend, and I don't even know exactly what they are, but they got a big housing and casing, and then it's the same tubes that you see in reverse osmosis systems underneath the sink. You know, they have 3 compartments, and so this is like one of those 3 compartments, and it's a carbon filter. So that's what I have personally. And yes, I call for the vision that, you know, the great thing is there's somebody like Billy that loves water and loves doing water. So when we figure out the world, engineers like him are going to focus on his task, which is to clean the water and create water systems that are beneficial for all human beings. And so not just the rich and famous Hollywood people. And so this is what's going to happen when we, you know, do away with the Fed. We just walk away. We don't have to do away with it. We just walk away at the next level of human consciousness. So, when it comes to shower filters, just do the best you can. Take cold showers. You want to sidestep it altogether, and you're a young male. I love cold showers, but I have some muscular stuff that I'm dealing with. They freeze up, and so I have to rotate my cold shower. I would just get into cold showers immediately. It's the best thing for your testosterone. It's the best thing for your sex life. It's the best thing for your skin, you know, and then you're not going to be breathing all that stuff. Get into cold showers now.
Oh, yeah,
sidestep.
I've been doing the cold showers for, I got to say, almost 2 months. I do a cold shower just about every single day. I stand about a minute or so in the cold shower, and actually I notice I'm able to stand in there longer and longer as my body gets used to dealing with the cold every morning, and sometimes I'll take them at night before I go to bed. But like, I'm in there and I'm taking my cold shower, I'm getting like amped up, I'm putting it on my body, on my joints, I'm putting it everywhere. I'm trying to breathe with my belly in there and just kind of stay in the coldness, run it on your face, and by the time you're done with the cold shower, you're like a new man. Or you're a new woman if you're a woman taking one, and you're like, pow, 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 I just did a cold shower. Like, I'm yelling in the shower.
You feel invigorated. You feel like you just came back. Like back in your body.
Up?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely lit up after a cold shower. I mean, I suggest that to everyone out there. It's something that I've been doing for the past couple months now, and it is amazing. Every morning, I have a great morning because I take a cold shower every day. And what would you say to the fact of doing like a warm shower and then just cranking it to cold right away, or would you rather say just jump straight into the cold? Because I still have to take suds up my soap and everything like that and clean off my body. So what would you say is the better approach? Jump into the cold, or when you're in the hotter shower, just crank it right to cold and then do it at the end?
So, hot, cold, has its medicinal qualities as well. So you can always rotate. And then, especially if you've ever gone to any kind of Turkish baths or Korean spas or anything like that, you always do the hot and cold, and that's where the real medicine is. However,
hey Troy, we're gonna have to bring this back right after this break. We got the music coming on here, so we're gonna have a quick little break here, and we'll be right back talking about what the cold shower is gonna do for you. Here we are back with InformNation, 23 minutes past the hour. And I know everyone out there is wondering, well, what am I doing with these cold showers? What are the health benefits? What am I getting out of it? If I'm not losing 10 pounds in a day, I don't want to do it then. And if I'm not feeling immediate energy, I don't want to do it then.
That's because people are result oriented and not process oriented.
There we go.
They're not building that character about themselves, going through a process of making a life transformation, and they just want it to happen the next day.
Yeah.
They want that miracle pill.
But we do know that cold showers do help you in the matter of, a cold shower, all you need is for about a minute or two, and you're already going to see the benefits from it. And while we were on break, me and Troy were just talking about a couple of these benefits, and we were talking about the brown adipose tissue that, what is it, Troy, that kind of encompasses your organs, and it's a hard fat to burn off, but cold showers do it, or?
Yeah, somehow it activates it. I think Ben Greenberg wrote a blog about it, and I remember reading it. And there's something about the brown adipose tissue, that usually collects around your jowls, your love handles, inside of your thighs, butt for women, that type of thing. And so what happens is that I think it does something with the circulation, and then if you stay in long enough, what happens is you start to shiver, and if that shivering starts happening in your organs, it starts to massage your organs, because I think the circulation, that's right, if the body is not, the body will protect the organs and glands first and foremost for survival. So if the body's freezing, it's going to stick the blood in the organs and the glands. And so instead of it being in your extremities, it's going to rush into your organs, and it's going to help massage your organs. And then the shivering and the freezing somehow accesses those fat layers and starts to work to burn those off. So it's good for that, it's good for the skin, it's good for the hormones, it's good for the testosterone, it's good for people that are looking for fertility and to get pregnant. Paul Chek wrote a blog post on that, a couple of blog posts on it as well. I think it's So You Want to Be a Navy SEAL is the name of that blog post. And it really goes into depth of all the benefits and features of cold showers. They're dynamite. They flip you on viscerally. And that's what Certified Health Nut is really all about, is flipping human beings on viscerally. Primal activation, turning on the animal. We are animals first in this spiritual journey that we're on. In the third dimension on planet Earth, we are living organisms. We are animals. We are human being animals. We have certain chemicals that flow through our body, and that creates electricity. And so these are chemical reactions. And so a lot of that nature's first law, self-procreation. So, sex and all these things, these are actual natural animalistic elements. And I think a lot of the religions have kind of turned off that energy, even to the point where Muslims, put whole bags over women to cover, their looks. So, I don't know what the whole technology around that is, but I don't think we came here to planet Earth to be bagged up, especially not in the desert. That's just my opinion. That's no disrespect to anyone who practices that type of religion or anything like that. To each their own. If that's really serving you and making your soul sing and happy, hallelujah. But I can't imagine, throwing a bag over my head. I figure if God wanted me to have a, bag over my head, he'd put a flap of skin over my face or my woman's face or whatever. But, anyhow, I digress. The fact of the matter is I lost my whole train of thought.
It's all right. But hey, I got a big question for you, Troy, and I know a lot of people are thinking this as well. The whole cancer epidemic that's going on in this country today, that more people are just trying to find a cure for cancer and not figuring out why is everybody getting cancer. But since everybody is getting cancer, what is a good diet, nutritional lifestyle to be living to combat that cancer in the best way you can say?
Well, the antidote for disease is always health. So a holistic lifestyle is the antidote for anyone who has a disease. So the fact of the matter, though, is we have to look at, cancer is a lifestyle design issue. Usually people that get cancer, and there's chemical contamination all over the earth, and children are now getting cancer and leukemia and brain stuff. And there are genetic anomalies and people that are more genetically predisposed to that, and I think historically that's what we've seen. But right now what we're seeing is a complete epidemic, and that tells me that the depleted uranium that the government is using, in Iraq, and these very toxic materials. The toxic compound DDT was pumped into Chesapeake Bay. It was pumped into San Pedro here in LA. Any kind of shipping paint, chemicals, asbestos, all these things are in the environment right now. And these chemical constituents are collecting in the tissues, affecting the RNA, the DNA, the replication of our cells. And so, women's bodies are saturated. They're testing infants. Infants now have over 200 identifiable chemicals. They just entered into the world. The mother's milk has it in it. So these things are, contaminating the detoxification pathways. People get constipated livers, kidneys, colons. Cellular structures end up getting all this garbage material that the body can't metabolize. And so what happens is, my understanding, my research shows that that cancer is God's garbage can. It's the intelligent design of a human being saying that we can't process whatever's going on in the body, so we're going to compartmentalize this in a material so the body can innately deal with it later. That's my understanding and research around cancer. So the body compartmentalizes those cells, and that's what you get. You get tumor growth, and you get abnormal cells. So then, if you get traditional medical treatments, they come in and they puncture that, and they shove toxic dye in there, and then they give you radiation for MRIs and CAT scans, try and figure out what it is. Well, my research shows that cancer treatments are what actually kill people, not cancer.
Oh, yeah.
And then you start looking into the medical structure of this. These tests are expensive. These drugs are expensive. And so, look at the history of healing major disease naturally. Well, what do you start to look at? Wheatgrass, Gerson therapy, juice therapy, Ann Wigmore, Hippocrates Institute, Dr. Bernard Jensen, Dr. Christopher, herbal medicine, things that are going to affect the body at the cellular level. It's going to assist the methylation pathways, the detoxification pathways, that they're going to get the constipation out of the colon, the kidneys, the liver. These are the things that filter the blood. And so then the body can automatically heal itself. So the body is designed to automatically heal itself. You ever get a cut? The blood dries up within about 5 to 7 minutes if you're healthy. And then, eventually the scar and scab go away and the body heals itself. The body automatically heals itself. The thing is you want to create the right conditions for it. So what's the opposite of the right conditions? Well, if you're eating commercial food supply, what are they feeding commercial food supply? Well, they feed animals genetically modified corn, canola, soy, these plants that aren't made to be put inside these beings. These beings of historically grass-fed ruminants, they roam the earth and they eat grass. And now we're feeding them grains. Well, these animals have multiple stomachs. So then multiple stomachs creates gas. If you feed an animal like that grain, they need multiple stomachs to break down the grass. We can't break down grass. We either have to juice it or eat animals that eat grass. And so you've got basically animals that have gas in their stomach create acidosis in their blood. Acidosis in their blood, you eat that's acidosis in your blood. And then you have acidosis in your blood. That's one of the three determining factors of cancer. So, if you're eating commercial, meats and stuff like that, they're eating garbage, then you're going to eat sick animals, and then you're going to become sick yourself. So that makes sense. Also, the chemicals that are in the environment, these things affect people. They affect their stress levels. And so if we're not going back and looking at the lifestyle design factors and mitigating all these stressors, then, of course, cancer is just an inevitable thing. And so it's just the body dealing with, all the things that are happening right now. So cancer really comes down to you want to heal cancer and get healthy. And if you want to get healthy, then assess where your current lifestyle is at, your sleep, your poop, and your exercise and your diet logs. Do a 10-day log on that. Figure out what you're actually doing, what time you're going to bed, how big your poops are, what you're ingesting, what type of movement you're doing in your body. You get a clear picture on your lifestyle, and then you can redesign your program to where it's mitigating those stressors. And then you can start moving in a different direction. But here's the thing. Cancer is usually the end result of something that's going on, deeper energetically, mentally and emotionally. There's a component there as well. And I also like to throw this in there. Paul Chek likes to say, oh, you got cancer, you got a disease, you got this or that. Great. This is your guru that's come to show up and teach you. The pain teacher's always guiding you. The question is, are you listening? So as you're eating the Cheetos and you're gaining 20 pounds, 40 pounds, 60 pounds overweight, and you're not noticing the pain in your body, well, eventually the body breaks down if it doesn't have, you're not living in accordance with the laws of nature, and it's going to buck the system, and cancer is one way that the system bucks.
So I mean, really, it's the lifestyle change that we really have to look at. I mean, and then if you do get the cancer, it's pretty much your body saying, well, this is years and years and years of you not living up to the correct lifestyle, and now you're having these anomalies that are starting to attack your body, and pretty much they're telling your body, like, hey, you haven't been living healthy, and either you need to do something about it or you're going to die.
Right.
And
for the most part.
Yeah, I mean,
for the most part.
For the most
Again,
part.
there's genetic anomalies, and there's people, people live 3 or 4 or 10 miles down from, some incinerator that's burning asbestos or some other kind of toxic materials for the last 60, 70 years. And these types of things can affect you. I think Houston's got a very high rate of disease.
So it's about
refineries everywhere down there.
Yeah, it's about even like talking about bringing in your lifestyle. It's like we should be eating a healthy lifestyle for the reason being that if we are living downstream from a facility that's putting out chemicals in there, at least if maybe we're eating the right foods, we might be able to combat it with actually the natural kind of anti-disease things that our bodies are going to help us create, and actually maybe we won't get the disease from the refinery down the stream or something because we've been drinking the clean water, we've been eating the clean foods and non-GMOs, and maybe that was just enough to keep our bodies in balance against all the bad crap that's out there. And that's true. I mean, look what it's come to. We need that living food for a living body. We've been eating dead food. It's food that's not even real food. I mean, Dr. Teresa Nesbitt that was on last show, she likes to call it food forgeries. And it's not even real. And it's that culmination of eating those food forgeries, and the cells are starting to like almost degrade because they haven't been living up to the cell's full potential, would you say?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. I mean, you look at spiritual energy, mana, we all come from energy. Mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies are what we have. The physical is the last manifestation of what's going on inside of us, or energetically. And so if the world's sick right now, 70% of the American people are obese, 1 in 2 has cancer, that tells me that the mind of the human being, it's time to get the sickness out of the mind. Release some of these emotions that keep us trapped in greed and some of the other deadly sins. And so we have a world that's out of balance, and it's shown up on the physical. We're Americans, and we're lucky, that we don't have bombed out houses and stuff like that. But we're still fat. We're fat as hell and eating garbage. And I'd say, good. That's what you get for being ignorant and trying to dominate the world.
Yeah, and then I think what we need to do is we need to do a cleanse. And I know you got something going on right now.
Yeah, you're involved in a whole new thing going on. Let us know what is it?
Yeah, you got like a 10-day bikini transformation or a little cleanse going on that what you're doing over there?
Yeah, well, I've got, it's funny you have that bikini contest. I do have a bikini contest that ends for the summer on July 1st. I'll tell you about that in a minute, but I've got 25 years background of cleanse and detox. I got into the health game because I was a Versace model living in Milan, Italy, back in the early 90s, and I started reading literature on herbs and cleansing, fasting, internal purification, and it made a lot of sense, and I got into juicing and colon cleanses and liver flushes and, kidney cleanses, and I really understood, it's not even understand. I read the literature, and then I tried it. I went and did a 10-day class. I did a 10-day juice fast, and lo and behold, my skin rebounded, inflammation went out of my body, I looked great, everybody's like, what are you doing? I was glowing, my eyes were clear, I cleaned out my intestines. I mean, everything shows up on your skin, you just glow. And I'm like, whoa, this is some serious technology. So for the past 25 years, I've done about, anywhere from 2 to 4 cleanses a year. And, I'll be 50 this year, and people comment on the way I look, and I went to my 20-year high school reunion, my 30 year I didn't even want to go to, because I couldn't relate to people. I was healthy, and most people, most people weren't, and the stuff I was talking about was foreign to them, especially people that were, trained to become doctors and stuff like that. They had no idea, of half the stuff that I was talking about. So the bottom line is it makes a huge difference if you take care of your genes and your body. Look at the research on epigenetics. This is cutting edge science. What you do to your genes while you're alive, it's not so much genetics, and it's the story of epigenetics. What you do to yourself while you're here. So I work with an organic 10-day cleanse. I work with a company that's been making wheatgrass, spirulina, cracked chlorella, things that nutrify the body at the cellular level and detoxify at the cellular level. And so, read my business partner's book. He wrote the book, The Green Foods Bible. You want to clean out the body and fortify the body and detoxify the body. Green juice is the best way to go. And we've been manufacturing, juicing, and drying wheatgrass for 23 years on organic farmland in Utah. And so we've got a 10-day cleanse. It's an anabolic reboot, and we use amino acids, so there's no muscle wasting. So you guys want to get healthy? You guys want to get clean? You want to feel good? You want to have people recognize and go, what are you doing? Then come and do a 10-day cleanse. I've got 4 group cleanses culminating before the end of the bikini contest. The bikini contest is a gimmick. I mean, you can wear the bikini on your head if you want. You don't have to take pictures with it. But if somebody wants to, maybe they're doing a fitness show or something like that, and they want to trim up, or they're getting bulkier, or they're getting they want to look good for the summer, and they want to join the bikini contest. Well, we're giving away gifts and prizes, and so you can jump on board with that. But the bottom line is everyone should do the 10-day cleanse because it reboots the whole system. It breaks food addictions. People are losing anywhere from 5 to 20 pounds, going on a vacation from artificial food, processed foods. And even like me, I don't eat that stuff, but I do the 10-day cleanse. I did multiple videos on it last year when I did them. They feel great. You look great. The inflammation goes out of your body. And so, I encourage anybody who wants to do a cleanse. You can go on my CertifiedHealthNut.com, or you can find me on Facebook, and I can help you get the information. Anybody that's on the radio show today that wants to do the cleanse, I have a $50 gift card for you. And so, contact me on my Facebook page. I'm on social media all the time. It's where I run my businesses. And so let me know that you're interested in the 10-day cleanse, and I'll give you some information, and then you can make the decision for yourself. But yeah, the 10-day cleanse that we've got is working incredible, and we've been marketing it now for over 2 years, and the company's grown 1,700%. So I'm looking to work with other yoga professionals, holistic health professionals, sports fitness professionals, any naturopathic doctors and medical doctors that want to take alternative health into their practices. I have multiple colon hydrotherapists, naturopaths, and osteopaths that I work with on my team, as well as a whole slew of Czech practitioners, and I'm talking to all my social media people right now because there's not too many organic supplement companies on the market. We're not even really supplements. We're more whole food, raw food, superfoods, and herbal formulas. We have 50 products, but our number one product is this 10-day cleanse, this organic 10-day anabolic reboot, reset on the whole system. Does that make sense, Alex?
Yeah, it definitely does, and I think everybody needs to check out the 10-day transformation cleanse, and they could find it at your Facebook. That's facebook.com/Mr. Troy Casey or facebook.com/The Certified Health Nut.
/CHN333. They can also go to certifiedhealthnut.com. They can Google Troy Casey 10-day cleanse or Troy Casey Certified Health Nut Cleanse Detox. That should populate my videos. And so I know you, Alex, were interested. I'd love to get you in on the bikini contest.
Oh, I'd love to sport my bikini out there. I'd actually like to get a good cleanse going. But we're gonna sign off here with Troy. We'll be back after this, but thank you for being on with us today, Troy.
Yeah, everybody check out CertifiedHealthNut.com. Get clean, get healthy. Troy
And
Casey.
check out his
thank you.
videos because he makes great videos. But anyways, we'll be right back right after these messages.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
InformNation back at you here with our British accent hour.
Hello,
Do you
Hour.
think we forgot about you out there? Of course not.
We never forgot about you Brits.
No, we did not. But I can't keep up the voice for much longer. I don't know if I have that great of a British. I can keep it up, and then like it just starts drifting into.
You know what I want? I want somebody from Britain to call
Yeah.
in to teach us how to do a good
Yeah,
British accent.
or just like bitch us out because like, we suck at doing the British accents. But yeah, we just had Troy Casey on. That was awesome.
Yeah, that guy's a wealth of information.
Dude,
We
Troy
were talking
Casey-
about healthing, grounding.
Healthing? We're talking about healthing.
Healthing, yeah, basically being healthy, healthing. We're talking about grounding, cleanses, cancer, how to Tai Chi.
Water you're drinking.
Yeah, the food
Meditation,
you're
energies.
eating. Yeah,
I mean,
the cold shower.
how much more can we talk about in health and wellness? I mean, Troy has a wide array of knowledge behind him.
Oh yeah. As soon as I met that guy, I just knew that this.
You meet him, and like if you ever get a chance to meet him in person and go out to California and meet Troy. I met him actually down in Tampa Bay, Florida. Actually, David helped me kind of bump into him. David was actually grabbing breakfast in the hotel lobby downstairs.
Yeah.
And we were at I was at a non-job seminar for Elliot Hulse out there. And here Troy's talking about ISIS, and not ISIS as far as, what's going on in the Middle East, but talking back to Egyptian gods and everything like that. And David kind of bumped into him.
Yeah,
I bumped into
definitely
David and them.
Spurred my interest.
And then me and Troy started talking and everything, and here we are. I have a YouTube video if you want to check that out with Troy Casey as well, youtube.com/AlexG4691. You can check out the interview between me and Troy Casey on Skype. But he like breathes and like just this vibrance about him. Like he's like out there, like he's got all this energy and everything.
And you know what? You can tell he's really living what he's speaking.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can tell.
Oh, you
When
can
he
hear it in
walks
his voice.
Yeah, when he walks into a room, you can feel it.
Oh yeah, you could hear it in his voice. Just today in the air. We had a couple swears in the beginning and everything, but you could tell the passion. The passion is there, and that's what it's all about. It's about the passion, getting into it, and actually, living the healthy lifestyle, getting amped up to tell other people about living a healthy lifestyle.
And that's all it's about. It's about spreading that word, that 100th monkey effect.
Yeah.
After one person starts doing it, 2 people will start, 4, 6, 8, and soon it's exponential. And then we're actually making changes in our
That's
own
what it's all
lives.
about,
That's
making
what-
changes, right?
It's coming down to the individual making changes. You out there changing your life for the better, and soon people will see it and they'll like it and they'll want to do it. And then look what you've done. You've started a change. You started a revolution in health and wellness, in being alive, in feeling, and even and then once you're vibrant in yourself, that transfers over into the political, into the economical, because you're voting with your dollars. You're not going with the bull that they're spouting off the TV and off the mainstream media.
As Troy says, be the change you want to see. And
That's what Gandhi said.
Gandhi and Troy said. Troy's like the new Gandhi, baby. I don't know.
Be the change you want to see in the world, and that's all it's about.
But everyone needs to go out there and start making these healthy lifestyle changes. Like I have family members that aren't doing this either, and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to tell them about it. And you know what the thing about it is everyone gives you that kind of rolled eye look, like, oh yeah, live the healthy lifestyle. I've been living like this for 40 to 50 years. Why do I need to change?
Well, then how do you feel after 40 and 50 years of living your lifestyle?
But then,
is it something?
See, the thing is they feel like they're living normal. That's the thing. They're so brainwashed at that point in time that they actually feel like that's normal. So it's like, oh, well, how are you living? Oh, I'm living normal. I feel good. They think that's good.
Yeah.
They think the toxins in their diet are good.
Cancer's just inevitable. No, it's not just inevitable. And disease isn't just inevitable.
It's BS.
It's exactly.
That's what it is. It's BS. Capital B, capital S. It's BS. And it affects all of us. We have family members right now that are going through it.
Yeah, my grandma, your grandpa.
It's like, what in the hell are people doing to us? And why aren't we changing it? Why don't we look at ourselves and be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be eating this crappy food?
Yeah.
Just common sense.
Or if you get a disease, you just instantly shoot over to the doctor to grab a pill.
Oh, yeah.
Or you grab some medicine instead of thinking, hey, okay, I came into this disease. What did I do to bring this disease upon myself? Call it cancer, call it diabetes, whatever, the common
Heart disease.
the common cold, the flu. Look what you've done to put yourself into the situation. Don't just go grab a Band-Aid. Change it.
Oh yeah, change your lifestyle, and you know, anybody that I talk to in my GNC stores, I tell them, I'm like, you know, what you really need to do is not go on a diet or not try to just lose this weight just for a little bit and change what you're eating, but it's change your lifestyle. Get into your head and say, I'm making a lifestyle change, and I'm not just doing a diet, because the thing about diet is once you do a diet, you get down to the weight that you want to be at, and then you go back to whatever you were doing before. And what were you doing before? It's what made you overweight in the first place. It's what made you sick. It's what took your energy away. And so really, you just need to change everything as a whole, and we need to start realizing that. But I think we need to figure out, I don't know, fun ways, or, I don't know, informing people. And I guess that's what we're doing here, doing InformNation, trying to figure out. I have no idea what David's writing to me.
Well, I wrote down what should be the homework tip for this week.
Oh, homework. David
Homework.
Doesn't have the neatest handwriting over
okay.
here.
I went to public
I
school.
can't read
okay?
his chicken scratch
I
that
went
he's
to-
trying to play off
to
over here.
public
It's
school.
a homework.
It says
I can't
home,
read it.
W-O, and then the R and the K are kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have the homework segment here. Here we go. David's whipping out the homework segment.
Everybody
too.
wait, because technology is not my friend today.
Or David's not friends with technology.
Whatever.
Or David just procrastinated it.
Hey, procrastinators unite tomorrow.
Was that for Tuesday?
Yeah.
Little turn up Tuesdays or twisted Tuesdays for procrastinators?
Here
The
we
people
go.
who didn't go to work Monday, please report to work on Tuesday. We know you've been procrastinating all day.
But welcome back to school, everyone. Monday. Oh my God.
Are you serious?
There we go. We're on the mic.
There we go. So back to school. Here we are, Mondays. But we want to give you the school of life. You know, SOL, school of life.
Yeah,
Soul.
yes.
SOL, soul. You know, and maybe that's what we should do.
What
We
we're
should make
talking
a
about
school
today
called
is,
soul.
you know what? Try a cleanse.
Yeah.
Our bodies are filled up with. We've been this whole screen, this whole thing we've been on is you are what you eat, and we've been talking about with Anthony Macchiato is toxins. We were talking about with Dr. Teresa
The
Nesbitt,
skill of eating.
the skill of eating, and we were talking about Troy is about cleansing and coming back into your body and being that. And that's what the homework should be this week.
Let's all head over to thecertifiedhealthnut.com.
Yes.
Let's go check out Troy's 10-day transformation cleanse, and let's see what happens. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Just try it.
Just try it. Just do it. Like, everyone's like, I don't want to try that. I don't know. I don't know. What's
'cause
the
you're
worst thing?
lazy.
Yeah, it's because you're lazy is really the question. It's
And
really the answer.
you've given up the responsibility of yourself. Now take that responsibility back. Be free.
Is my doctor going to recommend it?
Yeah, who cares about your doctor?
My doctor says that I shouldn't take anything.
Well,
that
why
he
don't you ask
doesn't,
your doctor what he's doing in his life to make him better?
Oh, you're fat, out of shape doctor? Like,
Yeah.
that guy that's giving you information that's like got a big pork belly and, you know, he's on his lunch break eating Wonder Bread with bologna.
Yeah, he's over at the
And
hospital cafeteria eating
Yeah.
a hamburger.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so that's my doctor that I'm going to go to figure out how to live a holistic
It's
lifestyle.
like, come on, people, doctors, anybody out there, they're human beings. They're just as flawed as we are. Humans are flawed.
Yeah.
Now, we can't be given all of our responsibility over to these people.
Oh, no.
It's about taking responsibility in your own life, sourcing clean water, getting good food, removing those toxins, learning how to eat.
Experience life.
Exactly.
It's like take your body as like, you know, a lot of the people that I listen to, you know, through YouTube and everything, a lot of people that have changed their life actually take their body as more of as a laboratory. It's like, let me see what works for me. Just go out there and try new things. You know, for 10 days, try this cleanse. If it doesn't work for you, go out and try something else. Just don't give up right away because it didn't work. You just need to figure out what works for yourself. Because what works for one person might not work for another. And I just had the conversation with someone in the store the other day, a young man who's trying to put on some muscle and everything. He's like, well, my friend told me that I need to stick between this rep range and eat these foods and take this at this time. And he's like, oh, he put on 25 pounds, but I haven't put on like hardly anything from doing what he's doing. I'm like, dude, you're different than everyone else, and everyone's going to give you a different answer. Mm-hmm. And the only person that, you know, is going to be a more of a right person is the guy that contradicts himself, saying that guy should do that, but that guy should do that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We're all unique in our own different way, and we need to have different lifestyles for every different person out there.
what fits best for you.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
So, maybe one month we'll try CrossFit. The next month we'll try bodybuilding. Or, for 6 months, give it like 6 months, do bodybuilding workouts. The next 6 months, do CrossFit. Next 6 months, do strongman. That's what Elliot Holtz is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Changing it up.
And getting that neuromuscular pattern that your body's constantly changing, so it's developing and becoming something new. It's not being stagnant at that platform.
You're becoming functional then.
Exactly.
You're becoming functional in your everyday. You're becoming more functional in how you think. Pick up a book. Read about how your brain works, how to actually make your brain think more productively. Because those are some of the things that we need. Because if you can't think, if you're sitting there overweight and you're being like, well, I don't know how to lose this weight, or I don't know how to, lose these extra couple pounds before my wedding, or I don't know how to get rid of this stress. Well, your brain is not in a productive thinking mode then. And actually, you need to have your brain start thinking more productive. And it actually probably has to do with some of the foods you're eating. If you're not doing exercise or yoga or some sort of movement, your environment, people around you.
It's big.
I mean, that's what this is. You are what you eat series. It's not all necessarily about what you eat, but that's the first thing that's coming into your body. That and water and air. I mean, those are the three staples that we need to live. Food, air, and water. Or should I say air, water, and food?
I don't know about you out there, and I don't know about you, Alex, but I definitely learned a lot from this whole You Are What You Eat series.
I definitely learned a lot, too. Actually, next week, what we need to do is we need to give away that $30 gift card.
Yes.
At the beginning of next week's segment, we're going to be announcing the winner of the You Are What You Eat series, whoever came out with the best questions to be asked over the airwaves.
And we got a few questions out there, so it's going to be a little good to figure out who was who. We're going to watch back on some video and listen to what was the best question of the You Are What You Eat series.
Yeah, go online, check out our InformNation, Facebook.com/InformNation Live. Check out some of our previous episodes on there. You go send us an email at Inform. You can still ask a question, I guess. And if you allow people to
honestly,
ask a question.
if you like it, share it.
Yeah.
Please, sharing on Facebook
is caring.
Is the ultimate like. It takes nothing to just click like. Okay, cool, you liked it. But did that person know about it? Did they like it?
Sharing is caring, everybody, and that's what we want you to do with information. InformNation is share the information. Share the information to your friends, your family, your relatives. But we'll be back next week.
We're going to be talking about media manipulation.
Media manipulation. We got a couple new books on media manipulation, but we'll bring that up next week. But we'll bring out the winner next week. So tune in next Monday or whatever day it is for you worldwide people out there. But we'll be back with InformNation at Monday. I don't even know what date it is.
Monday, 2 to 4 on 24.7 The Stream. Have a good Monday, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.
You're probably wondering what I was smoking during the video today. It's my e-cigarette here. This is Pegasus, and I don't know what brand Alex's is.
This is Anti-Flag.
Anti-Flag, great. Wow.
Anti-Lag.
Anti-Lag,
Anti-Lag, my
even
bad.
better.
I got this from Wise Guys Vapes, and David got his from Todd.
I bought mine from Todd, but he bought it from Vapors 365, located at Fox Valley Mall.
What we have here is we got two different combinations here. Is what we have. We have your more of your smoke trick.
This is your dripper. This is the dripper. You like a thick vapor. It'll get you that.
Yeah, I get a little cough going, and then you have your
little reservoir.
Your reservoir. Your little. I don't know what.
Take a hit, Alex, so that everybody see what it's like. Look at that deep, nice hit right there. Yeah, nice deep, big. Look at that cloud.
Oh yeah. So this one's good. You don't have to change it all day, and that one you got to do it a little bit more. But the benefit with that is bigger hits, and you actually get to switch up your flavor. I got to stick with this flavor as long as this is.
Today I have Cutwood Boss Reserve. It's kind of nice.
It's for the bosses out there. So pretty much if you're bearing brass, you're probably using Boss Reserve.
Yeah.
So you better bear some brass before buying.
Always remember to bear brass, but sometimes you shouldn't be bearing brass.
Yes. We don't know what that was, but this is InformNation, and signing out.